You got arrested just a few nights ago.
I'm beating myself up over this.
What happened?
Beverly Hills housewife Kim Richards.
I poured a drink of vodka, and I thought, oh my God, what have I done?
Are you living a lie? Telling everybody, no, I've been sober for 3 years.
The exclusive interview.
I was in the polo lounge. I locked the door to go to the bathroom.
And the police were banging on the door to get you out.
They were screaming and yelling.
Did you try to kick one of them?
Now,
you are drunk in a bar at 1:30 in the morning fighting with a cop. That is not good mothering. You need help.
Is this an intervention? I'm sorry, I can't.
Behind me sits the legendary Beverly Hills Hotel. It's one of the most iconic hotels in Los Angeles. Actress and star of Bravo's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Kim Richards, says the Beverly Hills Hotel has been like her second home. She says she spent countless Christmas Eves there with her famous family, and she has rubbed elbows with Hollywood elite. But that was in the past. Now Kim has gone from being VIP to being charged with public intoxication, trespassing, resisting arrest, and battery on a police officer. On April 16th at 2:04 a.m., Kim was arrested at the hotel's famed Polo Lounge. Beverly Hills police say Kim showed objective signs of alcohol intoxication, and they had to drag her out of a bathroom after she locked herself inside. A story splashed through the headlines everywhere from Entertainment Tonight to the Daily Mail.
You got cursing, kicking, and being thrown in the drunk tank. Those are the explosive accusations.
Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Kim Richards was arrested early Thursday morning at the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Around midnight, Richards was causing a disturbance in their restaurant.
When security tried to get her to leave, she went to the bathroom and refused to come out.
When Beverly Hills police arrived, they arrested Richards, who they say was belligerent and slurring her speech.
For the whole time, officers knew that she was intoxicated.
At jail, Richards started, quote, kicking an officer in the leg.
She kicked one of our police officers.
Kim is charged with trespassing, public intoxication, and battery of an officer.
The star's sobriety has been a controversial topic on the Bravo show. She went to rehab for substance abuse in 2011, but on the show's just finished season, Kim's co-stars questioned her sobriety. Richards was adamant that she had not relapsed.
Everyone is talking about this. Everyone is buzzing about it. Really sad crisis moment. We're just hoping she does get the help.
Today, in an exclusive interview, Real Housewife Kim Richards speaks out for the very first time about her highly publicized arrest. Is this evidence of a much larger issue, a stress-fueled meltdown, an ongoing relapse that Kim has been hiding? Our interview was scheduled to start, but while I was sitting in the chair waiting to sit down with Kim and focus on her life, she was down the hall focusing on her appearance. She was changing her top, had her hair in curlers, sitting in the bathroom, fluffing her bangs, while I was sitting and waiting.
Nice to meet you.
Dr. Phil.
I watch you all the time.
How are you? Have you been delaying this for some reason?
Absolutely not.
Because I've been sitting here waiting for you.
I apologize from the bottom of my heart. I've been ready to go since 10 o'clock this morning. I was the first one to get ready.
I take what I do real seriously, which means I take you real seriously. So you got arrested just a few nights ago, right? Mm-hmm. You're a mom. What are you doing getting arrested?
I'm a very strong person, and I have been sober. I haven't been working a program.
Well, let's talk about what happened.
My daughter had called, my youngest daughter, and she was having a difficult time, so I drove down to La Jolla to be with her. I spent the night with her.
You went down to Kimberly's, okay?
Yeah. So I explained to her that over the last couple months I haven't had the opportunity, nor did I feel I was prepared and strong enough to watch these episodes. Living through the season on a show, sometimes it's hard enough just to get through it. Sometimes I'll say I really can't blog. To go back and rewatch it and then to write about it is too hard for me. The fans are very hard on me. And they'll tweet like, oh, she thinks she's better than that. She didn't write a blog. So when I got to my daughter Kimberly's, the next morning we woke up, she was leaving to go to a class for a few hours, and I said, I think I'm going to watch the episodes today. So I went on Twitter first to kind of see what people were saying. And it was just horrible.
And what were they saying?
You're a hoe, and, you're a liar. We know you're drinking. You are drunk. You're calling me all kinds of names. And I am an alcoholic. I said that.
Some of them said you're mean drunk. Some of them said you're mean sober.
Really felt like this season, I just was tired of being talked about. I'm taking care of my ex-husband and my son, and I've got little girls, and I've got a situation with my sister and my niece and my dog and whatever, all this stuff. I'm angry at the comments. They don't know me. They don't know what goes on behind the scenes.
Well, have you been drunk on the show?
I have not drank once this season on camera. Not one time.
Look at this clip and tell me what this is about.
You have gone around to everybody and talked to them.
How do you know I've gone around to everybody?
And you
Don't point your finger at me, Kim.
And you two asking where I've gone to treatment. Do I have a sponsor?
Well, we've asked you.
You asked me if I was okay, and I said I am fine. And I told you on the plane,
Kim,
I am fine.
we care about you.
I'm concerned about you.
Has only been sober for 3 years. Oh, wait, excuse me. Did you just say let's talk about the husband?
Let's not talk about what you don't want to know.
You know what? Let me tell you something. Don't touch my husband ever.
Just saying. You don't want out for everybody to know. You better watch what you talk about me, or everybody will know. Everybody will know.
My husband.
Everybody will know.
You understand that?
Everybody will know after my
husband.
Why are you in that kind of exchange with people?
I felt very attacked by all the girls. I felt like they had been coming and talking behind my back.
Have you been lying to everybody?
About what?
Are you living a lie to everybody, telling everybody, no, I've been sober for 3 years?
At that point, I was not lying. I had not drank in over 3 years. Every one of them had come to me and told me that Lisa Rinna was talking behind my back. That is none of her business.
How you doing, Lisa? I have to ask you about Kim. You guys squashed the beef already?
You have to keep watching.
All of this was sparked because you took a pain pill during the season that wasn't prescribed to you, right?
Correct. I took a pain pill. One pain pill.
Yeah.
But remember, I've been sober for 3.5 years. I hadn't taken anything. I didn't even know I was acting funny until they told me.
Okay, so you're not reacting this way because you're super defensive, because you have something to hide.
I'm angry.
So you're at your daughter's house, you read all of this stuff, people are being mean, they're saying ugly things to you.
Then I left Kimberly's house, and I drove to pick up my daughter, Brooke. She was coming in from Dubai, and drive her back to her apartment. So we looked at the blog, and let me remind you that it isn't the blog or the season that upset me. It was the relationship between my sister and my niece that's been destroyed. Yeah, the mean comments got to me. And the bottom line is, it's the overall outcome of where today is with my relationships with the people I love the most. And that's what really started getting me upset. So we went to bed, and I just couldn't sleep. I was thinking about the blog. I got really upset, and I poured a drink of vodka like that. I have not had vodka in probably 10 years. And I thought, oh my God, what have I done? So I left. And I got in the car to leave. And I started to drive home, and it was about when I hit the hotel that I started to feel it. So I pulled in because I'm comfortable there. I've been going there since I'm a little girl. When I came out of treatment before, I lived there for 6 months.
Were you drunk when you got there?
Well, I think I was definitely feeling it, because by the time I went in, I put my purse on the table in the corner where I always sit. And Then I looked over and there were some people at the table. I walked over and we started talking, and then the maitre d', who I've never met before, he said to go back to my seat, and the girl said, "Oh, no, she's fine."
Okay, what were you doing when you first got there that caused the maitre d' to come tell you you need to go back to your table?
I was talking to the girl.
You're just walking over, chatting up some people, and somebody comes over like Gestapo and tells you, we don't table hop here. You've got to go back to your table.
Yeah.
Why'd you go to her table?
I thought I knew them. I don't really remember all of it. I remember just up to that point.
Had you ordered a drink when you got there?
I did not. The bar was closed. It was empty. It was just us. I do know when he mentioned the word trespassing.
Who said trespassing to you?
The waiter. He said, if you don't leave, we're going to call the police.
Now, all of this is because you poured yourself, you said...
Oh, no, it was... It was a good size.
A 2-inch drink?
Oh, yeah.
Was this in a 5-gallon paint can? What?
It was just in a glass, but I'm not denying that I was wrong.
Well, let's talk about the common sensibility of your story. Let's assume this is somebody else, okay? And I don't drink hard liquor much, but I just had a drink.
That's what I had.
Okay, and I leave, and I'm starting to feeling it, so I swing into the Beverly Hills Hotel, and I go into the Polo, and I'm obviously impaired because there's somebody over there that I don't know from Adam, but I think I do.
Right. And
I go over to their table and start talking to them. I'm just chatting them up, but it's enough that the maitre d' in a bar, which is a social scene, comes over and says, you need to go back over to your table here because somehow or another, this is beyond what is normal in a bar. And the people go, no, it's okay. But then it gets to the point that he comes back and says, no, you're trespassing. You need to not only go back to your table, you need to leave this establishment. Were you loud? Were you obnoxious? Were you crazy?
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil, a college professor...
He is a compulsive liar. He's demon-possessed.
...faces a firing squad of his exes.
Are you a stripper?
Yeah, you knew that before.
You told me months after we were married.
Are you kidding me? He introduced me as his fiance.
She thought we were engaged. I didn't believe we were engaged.
Did you give Tanya the ring you bought for Julie?
Yes.
I'm glad he didn't marry me.
Then on Thursday, is she in love?
You sent money
with a scam artist.
He's my man. It's my life. He doesn't exist. You don't know that.
Well, leave her out of it for a minute.
Get her out of here then.
That's Thursday.
I think I was...
Okay. But then it gets to the point that he comes back and says, no, you're trespassing. You need to not only go back to your table, you need to leave this establishment. Were you loud? Were you obnoxious? Were you crazy?
I don't remember all that. I remember bits and pieces. When I get upset, all I can tell you is from that point, he called the police. They came. They said, let's go. I went to go in to use the ladies' room, and a few minutes later, they all came into the bathroom like, come on out.
Okay, so were you in a stall?
I was in the stall, but getting ready to come out.
Was the door locked?
Yes. And then a few minutes later, they're in there banging on the door.
Was it a few minutes later?
It was a few minutes later.
How do you know?
Because I know that. I just
said
walked
you
in.
remember in pieces.
No, I know it was just a few minutes. I didn't lock myself
So
in.
this
I'll
is
tell
one
you.
of the pieces you remember.
Here's the thing. I started to get scared. When they first banged on the door, I was scared. And I was intoxicated. So everything's magnified.
You said they had to physically pull you out of the restroom. How did they get the door open? Did you eventually open it?
Well, yeah, I unlocked it, and then they just grabbed me. Like, they didn't even give me an opportunity to walk.
I mean, were you like a cat in a sack? I mean, were you...
No, just like, pick me up.
But then you don't really remember.
It's more like a fog. I do remember the whole night, but I didn't go completely... Like, I blacked out before, many years ago. I didn't do that. It's just everything's kind of in waves for me.
But that's pretty intoxicated, though.
I'm beating myself up over this. I feel the worst for my kids because they've been through a lot with this.
Usually when people are scared, a lot of times they'll be compliant. With the really scared, like, yes, sir, no, sir. You said they were closed when you got there. Didn't you order some drinks?
I never drank in that hotel.
This was about an hour and a half before they took you out. If you had one drink at your height and weight And then you drove from your daughter's house to there, and then you were there for an hour and a half, and your body's processing that alcohol. You should have been pretty sobered up by then.
Well, I wasn't.
Maybe you drank more at your daughter's house than you realized.
I poured one drink, but maybe it was bigger than I thought.
Do you recall your demeanor with the cops when you came out of the bathroom?
Yes.
What was your demeanor?
I was frightened, and I didn't like the way they were treating me.
Because they described you as having slurred speech and being belligerent and insolent and cussing them. And then you wind up at the police station. The police report says you assaulted one of the officers there. Do you remember that?
I read that.
Did you try to kick one of them?
No one ever said anything to me about that. But when I got there, the way they were grabbing me and doing the handcuffs, I think, yeah, I was kind of flailing around. And I don't know, maybe I did kick him. I don't know.
Well, it said you tried to kick him in the groin and missed and got him in the leg.
At that point, I was angry and I was frightened.
If you had been sober at some point, wouldn't rational thought kick in and say, you know what, I need to lawyer up, shut up, sit down, comply, do something?
But I wasn't sober.
Exactly.
I was still
and
feeling
you were
it.
hours into this. Come on, Kim, you had to have been drinking a hell of a lot.
I just told you what I drank, Dr. Phil.
No, you told me what you think you had.
I told you what, there's no way I drank any more than that.
Well, I don't know how big the glass was. Like I said, that's what I mean.
Glass like this.
If it's that much in that, that's a lot. I mean, how many ounces is it? I mean,
it's a little bit bigger glass.
I'm not the alcohol police.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know. If you're an alcoholic that has fallen off the wagon, you're at your daughter's house, and all of a sudden you're in there pouring a drink, and then you roll into a bar at midnight, and you're already drunk when you get there. Why would you not order a drink? Why would you go to a bar if you're not going to order a drink? Why would you not go to the Pancake House?
And I didn't want to drive anymore. And I pulled in so I wouldn't be on the road, because that's a safe place for me.
You went to a bar.
That's where I usually go. And I've been going there for years.
You're an alcoholic that fell off the wagon, so you pull into a bar. Could have got a room. You could have gone into the lobby.
I was just going to sit down for a few minutes.
In a bar.
I sat in the car for a little bit. And then I went in and I sat down in the booth where I always sit. I've been sitting in that booth.
In a bar.
My mother sat in that booth since I was 6 years old.
In a bar.
I just went, yeah.
But didn't order a drink.
I did not order a drink. You won't hear anybody be more proud to tell you about their sobriety almost every day than me. So this is not just, I'm sorry to my kids, and I'm sorry to all the people who follow my sobriety and look up to me. But this is truly for me. I feel horrible. But that's all I can do is just pick it up and just move on, you know?
So until you took that drink at Brooks' house, you hadn't had a drink in 3.5 years.
This May.
When you were with her, were you involved with other women?
Yes. Hey, I'm not married, yo. I'm not married.
The stories are more intense.
He rubs my face. It hits my head against the wall.
That did not happen?
No.
It's sad how much you lie.
No, you're the crazy. Can I talk now? Because he keeps speaking over me. That's not class. Learn some class.
The scandals are more shocking.
The video is my husband calling my grandson sexy butt.
I miss you, sexy butt.
To touch that boy, isn't that the truth?
I didn't touch any child.
What were you afraid was going to come out if you went to trial?
The accusations are more outrageous.
The story of a Florida teen who took her life.
I believe that Rebecca was murdered and that her mother's covered it up.
Do you know this woman?
Never met her. I think she's insane.
I know that Rebecca did not commit suicide.
You said the same thing online. You've harassed me.
I have not harassed you. I want your daughter's case reopened.
It's not your daughter. It's my daughter.
It all happens this May. We now return to our Real Housewives exclusive with Kim Richards.
So until you took that drink at Brooks' house, you hadn't had a drink in 3.5 years.
No, that's not true. I did have drinks a couple other times over the last few months. And it was wine. I was ashamed to say anything at the reunion. Embarrassed. I am not struggling with my sobriety, nor have I struggled with my sobriety. I took a pill for a chronic pain that I was having.
Yes.
Did I take somebody else's pill? Yes. Was that right? No. But I am not struggling, nor have I struggled with my sobriety for the last 3 years. I don't appreciate all the conversations that have been behind my back. I do not have to defend myself, nor will I any longer. I would have loved to say to the girls at the reunion, you know what, you're right. But the way they're coming at me, it didn't make it very easy for me to tell them, like, you're right, you know, I screwed up.
You just looked him in the eye and lied about it.
I had been sober for over 3 years, so it really wasn't a lie. So it was a lie and it wasn't.
Well, you feel judged by them.
I do. I hadn't even seen my sister in 5 months. So I was nervous enough just to see her.
What do you think about Kyle's reaction? She's looking at you out of the corner of her eye like, yeah, she doesn't believe a word you're saying.
It's been a bad year for us. And I feel like it hurts me because when I took the pain pill, she took me to lunch to tell me that Lisa Rinna had been talking about me. And she's not the only one that came to me. That Brandy did, Yolanda did. And I said, well, I hope you said something. She goes, I did. I told them. The way my sister told me, I was hurt. I was confused. If it were my sister and I knew she had 3 years, I would have said it was conviction. I don't want to say anything about my sister except that I'm hurt. I don't want to fight her or fight with her.
Well, your sister Kyle is the one that revealed to the world that you're an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Do you resent that?
I did. I guess I don't anymore. I really tried hard to just put all of that behind us. There's a few things that still linger for Kyle and I.
Reality TV star Kim Richards' dog bit Richards' 18-year-old niece, leaving her with injuries so severe she needed surgery.
Kim's feud with her sister Kyle has really rumbled on for years. The most recent feud stems from a dog attack. Kim's pit bull bit Kyle's daughter's hand. It's caused a fraction in the family that they haven't recovered from.
You and your sister are fighting about a dog bite. Did you want that dog to bite your niece? Did your sister want the dog to bite your niece?
No.
Nobody wanted a dog bite to take place. It was an accident. Accidents happen. You're having this knockdown, drag-out argument over that. That's not the issue here.
There's more.
Oh, you think? That's just a topic that you guys are venting about. That's just a battleground. It's like we're going to just fight about this because we are too scared to sit down and talk about what's really going on here. How's she going to react to all of this? I mean, are you thinking that your sister Kyle is going to look at this and say, that's why I didn't stand up with her. She's been lying.
Coming up.
I want your children to come in and join this conversation, okay?
I'm just sorry. I haven't seen you since that day.
Closed captioning provided by...
We now return to our Real Housewives exclusive with Kim Richards.
Are you thinking that your sister Kyle is going to look at this and say, that's why I didn't stand up with her. She's been lying.
No, she actually texted me after my arrest for the first time in 5 months. She asked me if I was okay. I haven't spoken to her, but I'm sure some people are having a field day with this.
Kyle, what's going on with your sister Kim? Is she okay?
And I don't really care.
Well, I think you do care what people think. I think that's a big problem for you. And you go read these Twitter things where you get keyboard bullies that tell you what a bitch you are. And, you know, you're in the spotlight and they decide to take your inventory. And you read that, it obviously does bother you or you wouldn't have started drinking. I think sometimes people look at what's happening in somebody's life and they try to make judgments based on what they can see right now. I try to look at the whole movie of somebody's life because if I see people that have unfinished emotional business. I don't know very many people that have been talking to someone that they love on the phone when he gets shot in the head and killed. I don't know very many people that have had that happen and have had to go identify that person's body that hours before was the love of their life. That leaves a mark, doesn't it?
There really isn't a day goes by that I don't think about him. So.
And my point is, do you think about that event in your life when you take that drink? No. But does it drain your coping energy to the point that it affects taking that drink? Then you're dealing with an ex-husband in stage 4 cancer that you're a caregiver for. There's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. It doesn't ever go away. When was the first time you knew this isn't just drinking, I got a problem?
You know, I took care of my mom and watching her struggle. It was hard to watch her go. And during that time, I started drinking at night.
Alone?
Yes.
Your mother had passed, which had taken up a lot of your life, so the silence was deafening.
I didn't have anybody to communicate with. I realized I had started to become a person I didn't like anymore. I couldn't stand the sight of myself. I would put a towel over the shower because I didn't want to see myself in the mirror. And that was the first time I personally knew I needed help and I wanted help.
Did you think about killing yourself?
I've said it. I don't know that I've ever meant it. I don't think I could ever have left my kids.
But don't you leave them when you check out drunk?
That's why I choose sobriety.
I want your children to come in and join this conversation, okay? Let's bring them in.
Coming up.
If you can't handle the heat from the show, would you walk away from it?
I just want to do the right thing.
If something doesn't change now, this thing is going to hit the wall, and people are going to look back and say, my God, look at the red flags. This is meltdown mothering.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil, our professor has some explaining to do.
He introduced me as his fiance.
She thought we were engaged. Did you give Tanya the ring you bought for Julie?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
That's tomorrow. We now return to our Real Housewives exclusive with Kim Richards.
I'm concerned about y'all's mother. Did you see her take a drink the other night?
I did not. I woke up the next morning, and she wasn't there, so maybe she went home. She called me, and she said, I'm driving home. I was in jail last night.
I get a text from my friends saying, hey, I heard something happened with your mom. Is everything okay? And I write her, and I'm like, hey, has something happened? She's like, Mom got arrested last night. I'm just sorry again, and I love you. And I haven't seen you since that day. And so I just want to tell you how much I love you. I'm really sorry. So that's why we're here.
We're here because we love you and we support you and we want you to get the professional help you need.
Yeah, you said you have a friend that was kind of hanging with you and kind of had your back on the show. She's described to me as somebody that does drink, Brandy Glanville. How do y'all feel about that friendship?
From the very beginning.
Toxic, probably.
What?
She's a good friend for you, but like, you gotta be hanging around people that are supporting your sobriety.
She's always been a really good friend to me, and she's never drank around me unless we're at work, and all the girls are drinking there. She's kind of been the one that's kind of had my mom's back. She and Yolanda both.
Well, I know Yolanda very well. I don't know Brandy at all, so I'm not expressing an opinion.
I personally don't know Brandy that well. I can see where people think it doesn't make my mom look good with the way she acts on the show, but I've never really spent time with her.
I know I've put a huge dent in the work that I've worked so hard to build over the last few years. I know that it's going to take time to rebuild, and I just want to do the right thing. And I want to be the strongest I can be. Thank you. And I know that me sober, I can handle almost anything. Like, almost. I can.
It's true. You are put under so much. This is probably the best thing that could have happened, to be honest. It's probably a great wake-up call.
If you can't handle the heat from the public and the criticism and the show, would you walk away from it?
If I can't, yes, I will.
Because based on what just happened, you showed you can't handle that heat. You read those tweets.
I was not drinking then when I read them, but...
That was the trigger.
But I've been in a very vulnerable state. As I said, I haven't been working a program. I have to go to a meeting. I have to exercise.
You've been watching me for a long time, right?
I watch you a lot. I tape your show. Over the years, with having 4 kids, I always, go to your show to watch.
You think I know what I'm doing?
I do.
I trust you.
I'm going to tell you what I think needs to happen. If something doesn't change now, this thing is going to hit the wall, and people are going to look back and say, my God, look at the red flags that were going off 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago, and nobody reacted to them. I've never yet seen an alcoholic that reports things fully and accurately. She doesn't even recognize people in the polo. She can't remember what happened. She's locked in a bathroom. She's attacking a cop at the police. I mean, come on. She was drunk, okay?
But I said that.
I said, so that's the first time you had a drink in 3.5 years? Well, actually, there were a few other times. I was drinking alone by myself at home. Then there was a time I took one of Monty's pain pills. Okay, so you start hitting the dots on the chart. Okay, I'm taking somebody else's pain pills.
No.
Pill.
But
Okay.
I also said there had been a couple other times I drank. I didn't... Okay, sorry.
Excuse me, she wanted to interrupt and minimize
No, I don't.
the story. She said, there were a few other times that I drank.
Right.
Correct? Home. Alone.
Never on the show, though. Everybody thinks I drank on the show. Let me clear one thing up.
Okay, you just did.
Thank you.
Okay, she didn't drink on the show.
Thank you.
She was just slurring and being belligerent and combative because she's just a slurring, belligerent, angry woman.
Whatever.
I don't care about the show. What I care about is you and the fact that there is a pattern of conduct here consistent with alcoholic meltdown that's existing with a personality problem that has to do with anxiety and depression. She's under a lot of stress. She is a caregiver for a man that's in stage 4 cancer right now. She's got 4 children that she's parenting. She's dealing with a life history that has a lot of unhealed wounds. She's self-medicated with alcohol. And she says, okay, I need to start jogging and seeing my sponsor again. This is meltdown. It's comorbid with anxiety and depression, in my opinion. You need help. You need treatment. You are drunk in a bar at 1:30 in the morning fighting with a cop. That is not good mothering. That is meltdown mothering.
Coming up.
Is this an intervention? No. It's feeling like one right now. I have a lot of anxiety. I'm sorry, I can't. Sorry.
You need help. You need treatment. I will make it a gift from me to you.
I actually had told the kids that I needed to go recharge myself. And I did want to go away for 30 days. I wanted to go close to home. My daughter's getting married in May, and I want to be there for her.
Would you be willing to do a 60-day program?
Not more than 30 days. I just haven't been able to find a place that fits my needs.
I'm interested in one thing, and that's your long-term health and well-being.
I know that.
I'm not interested in your diva needs.
If it's not in this area and it's not close to home,
Then we will come visit you.
no, then I'm not going to go. I went away to an out-of-state thing before. I'm not doing that. I want to be close to home. So if that happens to be something that you have, I'm super grateful.
You just need to tell me you'll trust the process and not make a bunch of you got to meet this demand and that demand.
Like, it's not about meeting demands.
Well, actually it is. You said, well, I'm not going out of state because then I wouldn't know where to go to my meetings, and it's got to be 30 days because then I have to go to this, and then I've got to go to that.
My daughter's
you
wedding?
need to trust the process.
I'm not going to miss my daughter's
You don't have to
wedding.
miss wedding.
You just need to say, I'll trust the process.
I don't know if this is what's right for me personally. I think I have to digest this. So I'd like to hear what you're offering.
You just have to say, you know what? I'm going to trust you.
Trust is a hard thing for me.
I understand.
Something I have to work on. I don't want you to go back home.
Yeah.
Like, there's just so much going on at home. Is this an intervention?
No.
Is it feeling like one right now? Because I have to go home.
It's just surrendering and just, like, not having to worry about all that, you know?
I just want to
We'll
stop
help
now.
you.
I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore.
You've controlled this, and it's not really worked for you, or you wouldn't be here. And I'm asking you to say, you know what? I'm going to take a leap of faith here. I'm going to trust you and my family.
Who have I been able to trust? Who?
Why don't you trust me right now?
Okay. I trust you.
I've arranged a program for you that is right here, local. It's just right down the road here. It's right on the beach. It's a dual diagnosis treatment program specifically designed
I
for
have
women.
a lot of anxiety right now.
Okay, just relax.
I know. I have a lot of anxiety. I'm
Sit
sorry,
down.
I can't. Sorry.
Let me explain the reason that I wanted Kim to agree 100% to go to rehab before I gave her the information about the facility she'd be attending or what she would be asked to do. Kim is very controlling. Like many alcoholics or addicts, she is a deflector. With Kim, I knew it would be critical to get all of her excuses out on the table first, or she would never commit to doing what it takes to truly get better. The fact is, we knew about all of Kim's concerns, and each and every one had been carefully considered in planning her treatment. The only thing left to do was for Kim to lean into the help and accept it.
Coming up, what happened next will surprise you.
You can forget this whole thing. I'm leaving.
He was not being rude.
Yeah.
Closed caption.
I know. I have a lot of anxiety. I'm sorry. I can't. You can forget this whole thing. It's your microphone. I'm done. Yeah. I'm leaving.
She wants to talk to y'all. So what you have to do is not let her back up from this.
She wants to talk to us right now.
Why don't you just go and maybe bring her back in, talk to her, and we'll wait here.
Okay. So why don't you just come back in? Yeah, what's the big deal?
I'm done with you.
Yeah, you are.
Mom. 100% I'm not going back. Stop it. You're giving me tons of anxiety.
He was not being rude.
I'm not going back in there. No, I'm done.
It's by the beach. It's down the street. Come on.
I don't like the secrets.
There's no secrets. It's at the beach. You got.
Hey. Get out. No, wait a second. I'm done discussing. I'm not going back in that room. This is not what we wanted. That wasn't the goal of coming here.
He said it's right down the street. Why do you have to be so picky? Just go get the help you need. It's here. It's not. I can't. Yeah, you have to do this, Mom. Mom, we have an opportunity. They're going to take care of the whole thing. Yeah, put everything aside.
Honestly, the people that know me the best, that see me every day, you guys have seen things a few times, yeah? Yeah, but Chad, I'm not drinking every day. I'm not doing,
I'm not saying you're drinking, but you take pills, you do this every once in a while, you smoke pot.
Every once in a while.
Hey, I just wanted to say bye.
Oh, thank
I'm
you
heading
so
out.
much. You're amazing. I really appreciate all that you did today, and I really admire you, and I do respect you, and I just think I have to digest this. I have tons of anxiety. The thought of going someplace I don't know is frightening to me. And
Sure.
so, you know, I do trust you, and I feel like my kids, the little time I sat with you, I feel like they trust you.
Yeah.
So I just think I need to.
Well, ask them to come out so I can say bye to them. I'll say bye to all of y'all. How's that?
Guys, you want to come out and say goodbye to Dr. Phil?
Sorry if this doesn't work out. I've told you what I think you need to do, and I think you guys agree, right? Don't cheat yourself. Don't cheat your kids. Just remember I told you that.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks a bunch.
Thanks again.
Don't let her do this. All right, guys. We'll see you. After an explosive interview with Kim Richards, she refused to accept my offer of help and commit to going to treatment. One day later, we received a phone call that Kim had slept on it, searched her heart, and decided to accept this life-changing gift. But then she went back and forth again, wanting to choose the rehab, wanting a private room, and the list goes on and on. In just the last few days, it's been reported that Kim finally decided to check herself into rehab. We certainly hope that's true, and we wish Kim the best. I want to thank Malibu Beach Sober Living, an exclusive and elegant sober living environment. It is the ideal place to help people continue their recovery and make a commitment to a new way of life. For more information, go to drphil.com. Thanks for watching.